Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the gallery of Sami Zayn and how they're really kind of building some contenders for him. First, hit the like button for me. Also, hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed if you already subscribed. Thank you kindly. So on November 27th episode of SmackDown, Sami Zayn, fresh off of his loss to Lashley at Survivor Series, is furious. He's upset, and he's upset about a lot of different things. He's a complainer. First thing he's upset about is Thanksgiving. He said he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is genocide and factory farming is evil, something to that effect. About the factory farming of chickens and the genocide of Native Americans and all this sort of stuff. Our good friend Kami Zane is really. I don't know if it's a character or not. It's hard to tell whether this is a character, but this is a stereo. It was a stereotypical leftist definition of Thanksgiving and of the food industry, which keeps people from starving. So I don't see why. Like, if you want to like this is I'm gonna do a little bit of a side about factory farming. You gotta think about this here. Either you want to starve a lot of people or you want people fed. If if it takes for chickens to be uncomfortable, for people to not starve to death, I don't care about chickens being uncomfortable. Let's put it like that. There is a history of human beings starving to death for not having enough food. We now have an abundance of food. I think we should be rejoicing in the miracle of factory farming and animals be damned. I'm not a PETA guy. I don't care about that shit. Ultimately, animals, they exist to eat or be eaten. I mean, that's just the law of the jungle, my dude. Like, we have nightmares, human beings. We have nightmares about creatures that feast upon us because we have no natural predators, right? So we have these zombies, for instance, or vampires, or werewolves, or something like that. Something that eats human flesh, and there's different reasons to go into that, because vampires represent one thing, zombies represent another. They're archetypal type of concepts. But we don't have natural predators. But we are the only species of creature that really feels guilt. Like, do you think lions feel guilty about the antelopes that they slaughter and eat? No. You think they care? No. Shit. It's eat or be eaten, kill or be killed, man. Animals kill each other all the time. They kill each other just for access to mates. And I'm talking herbivores like rams. They bash each other's heads in. Somebody could die. And that's for access to mates and different things like that. So I'm not true. I'm not tripping over this whole factory farming thing. Who cares? But back to the wrestling part. Not enough of the whole politics stuff. And so Sami Zayn says that Daniel Bryan didn't deserve a match with him, and that Daniel Bryan is getting special privileges because WWE likes him more than he likes Sami Zayn because he beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and he should be done with Daniel Bryan. And so Daniel Bryan comes out. They have a pretty good match in which Sami Zayn tries to escape quite a few times. But it was a pretty good match. They didn't give anything away. It wasn't, well, they did give away one thing, and that is a brain buster that took place on ring apron. It was rough. And I was like, damn. I do not want Daniel Bryan taking them kind of bumps. I'm a concerned troll his health right, just once. A guy who has a history of neck problems and concussions probably shouldn't take apron bumps. Probably shouldn't do it. Not apron brain busters. You probably shouldn't do that. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, Vince McMahon chewed these guys out for that because not a fan. Anyway, Daniel Bryan chased Sami Zayn away. Sami Zayn ran up the ramp, ran into the back, and then Sami Zayn turns around and comes back. And I was instantly like, how the hell did he get past Daniel Bryan? They explained that by having Jey Uso beat the hell out of Daniel Bryan. So Sami Zayn wins via countout, and he goes to talk about him beating people in 10 seconds. Like, it only took me 10 seconds to beat Daniel Bryan. And, he's beaten everybody in 10 seconds. And this was really good stuff. This was really good stuff. Earlier in the night, Daniel Bryan was saying that Sami Zayn was delusional, and he has to, bust his delusions. But Sami Zayn won the match. And now, but he won the match in a way that doesn't completely eliminate Daniel Bryan as a contender. So Daniel Bryan, he's going to get another match with Sami Zayn. Is he going to be the top contender? I don't know. But Sami Zayn is gloating. And we get a very strange segment between Apollo Crews and Big E as they play garbage basketball. Now, I grew up poor. I know garbage basketball when I see it. I've played football with milk cartons. I've played basketball, Kobe from across the room with balled up trash. Uh, this seems very niggerish to me. it's very, it's very something the homeboys would do, is to play with balled up paper. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to be mad at it. It was pretty cool. But they were in the way of Sami Zayn, who was going to talk to, I believe, Charlie Caruso or Caleb Braxton, one of the two, about his victory with over Daniel Bryan. But they were in the way. And while they were in the way, he decided to basically mock them. So he basically says that, oh, yeah, it took me 10 seconds to beat Daniel Bryan. Apollo Crews should know something about that because it took me 10 seconds to beat him too. And Apollo Crews was about to really, put his hands on Sami Zayn. And Big E was like, no. Let me handle this. So then Big E, he dresses Sami Zayn down about, these razor thin victories you're getting. You're not quite the champion that you think you are. And Sami Zayn's like, look, you're just jealous. Nobody remembers you being an Intercontinental Champion. I'm on a historic run. I'm beating guys in 10 seconds. You're not in my league. You're not in my class. And then, Big E was like, okay, you're right. Maybe you're right. And, he offered his hand, and Big E, Sami Zayn shakes his hand, and then Big E squeezes his hand. And, Big E's a power lifter. So this is not, I would have liked for Sami Zayn to sell it more. But, he held his hand for 10 seconds, basically squeezing. And Sami Zayn is visibly selling that, his hand is being crushed in the mighty palm of Big E. And I would have liked, for maybe Sami Zayn to drop to his knees or something, or yelp, or like, or something, to really put it over a lot more. But Big E was being, very comedic in his count. He was like, a 1, a 2. He was counting like the count from Sesame Street. He did a small reference to, when he got to 5, he was like, you remember 5, right? You remember the 5 count, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. So they building these contenders up. He let them go. And, Sami Zayn was, kind of upset about the whole disrespect of having his hand squeezed. So they set up 3 contenders. You got Daniel Bryan, who never properly lost. You got Apollo Crews, who was getting shit talked by Sami Zayn, and then also never properly lost. And now you got Big E standing there. And he seems to be the most likely person to be the next contender. But I do believe that you're probably going to have to get Apollo Crews out of the way first. And maybe that's going to be what they do. I know a lot of people, when they talk about this whole Big E singles push, they want Big E to fight Roman Reigns. And I think this is a good way to get there. As you give him a short run with the Intercontinental Championship, maybe you give him a secondary short run with this title. And I think that would be a good thing to remind people that he can go, as far as, because he hasn't had a singles match in a long time. He hasn't had, when he first went solo, he was winning a lot, gaining momentum, and then it kind of hit a wall and it stopped. And then now they're picking it back up. I'm like, okay. They stopped it for Survivor Series because it was the whole New Day, Street Profits thing. And then you had to, build Otis and get Otis out of the way because Otis had the Money in the Bank. And then you had that whole thing with The Miz. And there just was not enough time to really invest in Big E. But now they seem to have found something. They're not done with Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. They're not done with that. Who knows if they're going to go back to Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews? I think that they probably will. But I do think that they're eyeing that Sami Zayn Big E thing. And that's probably going to be your next pay-per-view match. But I'm interested in that. Maybe they, but the Intercontinental Championship seems to be like a TV title, and where it's not really defended on pay-per-view, it's defended on TV. And, that's still good because, more people watch SmackDown on TV than watch the pay-per-views. The network only has like 1.5 million subscribers. If everybody watches the show at one time, that's still not more people that watch SmackDown at one time. That's just the facts. But that's that is what it is. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.